지금 다운로드 받으세요.
I expected it to be a lot more one-sided.
Yeah, I thought players like Maru would be. I thought Maru would be 4-0 right here, and TY was. And I said Maru was the better Terran earlier, but after watching these games, I have my doubts.
Maru has definitely a harder group here, and one of his losses was against Zest.
Yeah, I guess the loss versus Losira is really the only thing you can break down. And Maru did just win 3-0 versus this guy, so big story here. It's going to be their 4th match that they've played in a row. This happened yesterday, by the way, where Maru defeated him. I didn't watch the VODs yet because I literally just landed, but I saw a lot of tweets about Maru using Widow Mines to blow stuff up, so I'm excited to see if that happens
Sounds
again
like
here.
Maru. Yep, the Widow Mines, Banshees. And this is going to be Maru's map pick. It's going to be Dust Towers. So let's get into it. Here we are on Dust Towers once again, and down in the bottom left in the red for the Jin Air Green Wings, it is Maru.
And up here at the top right, in blue, is his opponent, Reality, the Terran. I've dealt one of 2 Terrans. Like I say the Terran as we have 2 Terrans in the same game. I'm actually pretty sick. I'm pretty jet lagged. I'm hanging in there. This is not my best day of commentary, guys, but luckily it's a chill group day.
You're staying alive.
Staying alive.
Yeah. You were only casting for, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I was only doing that.
Whoa.
Almost as impressive as my pin collection from the Star League.
Yeah. We actually have every pin.
Actually, he might have every pin, too. I've never actually spread mine out and put them in a cool case like this before, so I don't think he has exactly everyone, but he had a lot of them there. Couldn't tell at a glance which ones he was missing.
It looked like he was close. I think there's 16 from each season, so I think there's a total of 32.
There's also 4 for the round of 4, the colored ones.
Ah, yeah.
And I didn't see if he had all 4. And I saw he had the stats one and I think Dream. But
not sure.
Yeah. We'll never know for sure unless we watch the VODs or get another camera shot. But
or we ask him, you know.
Yeah, we ask him.
It's really important. Wow, he actually drops that down.
Yep. Just going to drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Where do the SCVs keep that huge chunk of metal anyways before they drop it down? Where's that come from?
Just take it out of their pocket like Mary Poppins, man. That's
basically what it feels like. Oh, man. Reality is playing with fire here. He's trying not to bring the 3rd SCV, but you have to bring a 3rd SCV. That's just how this works. Or the Reaper, I guess. I guess that works too.
Well, he's delaying some time. I mean,
hey, if he doesn't bring the 3rd SCV, that's like really good for him because he you know, only lost mining time from that 2nd SCV. Normally, the SCV that attacks forces the 3rd one, but okay, Maru's actually not even going to commit to the Reaper Scout. He saw enough. There's no reason to commit there, and
yeah, you don't want to jump up a cliff and take an extra shot and perhaps lose your Reaper. Just keep it alive. Tech up. Both these players doing mirrored builds here. Just a slightly faster reactor for Maru.
Well, and I'm expecting to see Maru go for Banshees, even though he is making a Hellion right now already off of his factory, and that reactor is pretty normal, just because that's what Maru likes to do. It's not the best Banshee map, but it's not a bad map for Banshees either. It's Dust Towers. I mean, it's like the standard map. Drops are really powerful on this map when you take a 3rd base, Marine drops in particular, because of the horseshoe effect that I always talk about, where you basically have to shut that drop down with a Viking, which isn't really common in TVT anymore, or you have to run your ground units around that circular shape, or that U shape. It looks like we're literally going to see the same thing happen on both sides, but Reality got a grenade shot off, so he lives a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer.
Yeah, and he does get a full scout of what's going on. It's pretty nice for Reality here, whereas I think the Reaper may have seen the starport for Maru. Let me actually check. No, he actually didn't see anything, but you can kind of guess at this point. You know, you look at the front, it's a barracks with a reactor, a very common TVT builds.
Oh. The Reality Hellion shoots first, so it wins here.
And it actually had more health going into this fight, so.
Because of the grenade earlier, I guess. Here comes Reality's drop. Maru does not go for the Banshee as I expected, and they're going to pass each other. It looks like a mirror matchup, Valdez.
It really is. They're both making the same units even.
The only difference is the one faster depot from Maru. He's not going to get supply block. This is a faster drop for Reality, though, so it's going to force Maru to react, but Maru's drop's about to hit as well. Let's see if Reality can do the same back at his base. He's already set up, in fact. And that one tank in tank mode doing a lot. The Viking connects with the medevac, so very solid defense. But back over here, it looks like only one Marine dies. The Widowmine even survives and forces a scan. So the better trade quite significantly for Reality.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it looks like both these players are taking their third bases now, but Reality is slightly ahead. So I was expecting Maru, you know, with the 3-0 in Code A and just the results from Maru to be the, you know, the winning player here, but Reality off to a great start.
Yeah. Game's by far far from over. Maru adding even a Cyclone for defense here as he goes into a somewhat greedy double eBay. The Cyclone going to make it less so. Reality doing the exact same thing. Wow, this game is like really, they're both doing the same thing all the time.
It's minute 5.5. Still getting similar builds here. Although Maru's committing more to the Vikings, whereas Reality getting some other stuff.
Yeah, getting 2 more barracks. So going to be committing more to a ground army. And the third CC is a little bit faster for Reality. Going to go for a 2 tank drop. Probably not going to siege them, just use them in tank mode. This is something that it looks like Maru even expects, perhaps based on the games they played yesterday. Again, I didn't see those VODs yet. I literally had no time. But I'll be watching those probably tonight or tomorrow morning. But he prepared a Cyclone for catching the drop, but he failed. And with this group of Marines, he could actually siege. Not with these Vikings here, though, forcing the drop out. And look, the Cyclone is actually going to catch one of these siege tanks. He's going to have to lift that up.
There he does. He lifts that up, but it's kind of hard to escape from here. So he's actually just going to hold his ground. Perhaps slowly move on? No, he's dropping out the Marines again.
He may just want to save these tanks and tank evacs. He's prepared for that situation, but now that he is able to... oh, the one Marine. Now he's able to unsiege them. Poor he can get 2 in.
Yeah.
Imagine if there was a world where you could actually have one medevac, have 2 tanks firing, like a 2 tank evac.
In the air?
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, not in the air, but like, you know how you can fire tanks now, or you can have them in siege mode. Yeah. Imagine if you could actually carry 2 tanks like that.
What? The moonwalk!
Cyclone going backwards, man. He's like, what up?
Stat boy. That Cyclone. Doing work. Okay, now finally he's turned around. And the aggression is beginning here for Maru. He does have less stuff, though. But he does have the Vikings, and he's going to have to pull those tanks up into the main, actually. Getting a pretty nice position, but not getting too much damage done.
This is a lot of Marines, actually, from the south side as well. Maru is really pushing the issue with this because he has these Vikings. And does back off. Scans because he's like, okay, I think I can do more with this. And actually, as it turns out, he can. The Cyclone is so useful in this situation. And he focused down 2 tanks, 2v1. He has the vision with the scan. He's just using these scans for vision to connect. Like, he just dropped within range of Reality's tank, but tanks can shoot further than they could see. So with that scan, he gets a kill. Doesn't want to stay too long here, though. Backing off now.
Yeah. This is what happens in TVT. You have 2 Vikings, your opponent makes 3, and then continues with the medevac production. So, Reality wins the Viking War, pushes Maru back. Just a bit of aggression. Keep in mind that Reality had a really fantastic TVT on this exact map against Ryong in Pro League. really just demonstrating that he knows how to control the middle of the map and, you know, how to play that game of chicken in TVT. Likes to get aggressive, and it looks like he's going to begin to move out here.
Yeah, I mean, he's set up to. Having the tanks in the tanks, the tanks in the tank of X as well also prevents you from getting sniped. Because if Maru tries to like scan and go for a snipe move like he did earlier, the tanks can't be hit. They're in the air. So he doesn't have to be using scans, and he knew that Maru had the better air control. So I like the choice that even if he's not going to move out, hold them in the medevacs. If he needs to commit them to the ground, he can always do that pretty quickly as well. Oh, Cyclone only gets 1 kill. The second Marine escapes for now. Short-lived, though.
For now.
Maru's going to commit to this attack. Reality needs to make sure that he is in position, keeping his tanks in the air again for the time being.
He's ready to go. And this is a pretty strong Maru force that's pushing across the map. It looks like he wants to drop at the same time. There is a couple of sensor towers, though.
Ouch. All those damage with those siege tanks onto the Marines. Maru's going to commit, actually, again, with a scan. Gets a better trade on the tanks. The Marines are able to come in as Reality retreats. Nearly gets more damage done.
Oh, Belay. That was taken out very quickly. And this drop should do a lot more. There are no turrets, and he's going to drop 2 locations, and there's no defense.
He had sensor towers, but it doesn't matter if you see it coming if you don't have an answer. Maru's going to try to siege up the top of the ramp here. And in fact, he will get the siege off, not on the top of the ramp, though. But look, he's still in good position to deny the Marines of Reality. He's getting such a good trade here. Reality just A moves in, and the Viking control goes to Maru.
That it does, but back at home, he is losing a lot here. Looks like he'll eventually be able to clean this up.
And I think the same should eventually be true for Reality as well, but he's going to have a little bit of a harder time breaking this. Okay, he's going to just drop tanks in here and
Mark
commit.
could actually, yeah, he should actually just get out of there.
Stays for a long time, pretty greedy, but actually saves all 3 tanks. Can't even believe it. Oops. Oh no, I guess he wasn't actually lifting that. It's been a long day for me, guys.
We're only halfway through, Wolf.
We'll
We'll push on through.
I appreciate any feedback you guys have from my casting today, but just know that I also know that this is not my best day.
It's all good. Having fun. And it looks like Maru's actually in a fantastic spot now, especially with this. Oh boy.
He's just using these tanks aggressively, using scans to get snipes. This was a bit of a sloppy engagement, but he's just so far ahead that I think should end the game.
Yeah, that should be it. He takes out the entirety of Reality's army and is now pushing up the ramp. SCVs running to their death.
GG.
Yeah, Reality going to take another loss. Maru taking that win. And that was Maru's home map. So nicely done for him, taking that win on his map.
Gonna take a lead. 3-2.
Yeah, so
Still behind Lucera because he has an away win.
yeah, it's true. Both Zest and Maru, who have played 5 games, are both at 3-2 now. Definitely the favorites to get out of the group. Hero is about to play his last game here, but it's up against Zest, so not going to be an easy one.
No, it's going to be our last map before we go to our break. So, King Stage on Station for a PvP. PvP has been such a fun matchup in these Star League groups. It's super aggressive all the time. We're seeing Stalker pushes, forward gateways, proxy robos. We're not seeing the longer PvPs with Disruptors and Blink Stalkers, which some people really like.
Passed on, you know.
Yeah. But I'm liking this meta where it's just like super, super aggressive all the time, and especially on 2-player maps where, because you know where your opponent spawns, you can actually do aggressive moves like this without taking a risk. You can send a probe out early and like send that proxy out without having to be like, oh, it's Frost, so I'm not really sure. So I like where we're at in this meta. Do you think Zest is going to take this?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, Hero's had some spotty PvP, but so has Zest. It really super looks like the best PvPer in the group, which is weird to say.
Yeah, he had that. I'm actually trying to remember which game it was because there's actually a few PvPs. There's one game, the game where I got freaked out by. It might have been Super versus Hero. I don't think it was though. It was a different map.
Freaked out by the what? I mean,
the game that was like it was just like a lot of micro mistakes on both sides, the void rays and stuff like that.